Today we're getting an early look at what Acer has to offer at Computex. Now today we're taking a look at some of Acer's productivity notebooks, and we have here the Acer Swift Edge. Over here we have the Swift X14, and we also have a couple of Aspires to talk about as well. But this is probably the most interesting notebook at least from my perspective here. There's two things about this Swift that I like. The first is the fact that it's extremely lightweight. This is made of a magnesium aluminum alloy. It actually looks plasticky. That sort of fools you a bit, but this is actually about 2.2 pounds and feels extremely lightweight without being flimsy. Just definitely something that you would be easily fit in your backpack, but also hold in your hands. I mean, you can just see just how easy it is just to move back and forth. The other thing that this laptop boasts is it has a matte display, and a reflective display would show the camera right now a reflective image. This matte display doesn't do that. It obviously has a little bit of reflectivity to it, but without that mirror-like appearance that affects really most laptops. And really, if once you use a matte display, you sort of love it. And this is the Gorilla Glass Matte Pro display. So it has some protection as well as the anti-reflective capabilities. This is a device, as you can see. It's got a Core Ultra 9 in it. This is the Lunar Lake chip with 120 total tops, 48 tops in the NPU. It's got a 2K OLED display, again with that matte finish on it. I should say too, one of the things that I liked about it too, the keyboards vary, obviously from laptop to laptop. This is a really comfortable keyboard. It's springy, but it's not soft. I don't know the travel, but I've used Acer Swift keyboards before. I happen to like these. There are some differences between this keyboard and some of the others we're gonna see, but I've been playing with it. It's actually really comfortable to use. This is, of course, a Copilot device. There's a little bit of this activity monitor here. I'm not sure it's necessarily gonna stick with the design going forward in the future generations, but it'll sort of indicate when there's some AI activity going on. Otherwise, though, the real AI activity on this are two of the features that are shown off here, the Purified View 2.0 and the Purified Voice 2.0. Purified View 2.0 is honestly, it's very similar to Microsoft's Windows Studio Effects, the background blur, pan and zoom and so forth. I have used Purified Voice and I really like it. It's a noise filtering technology. I've tested it by not only speaking to the mics that are built in, but also playing music at various spots behind me. Filters it right out. Really, I mean, basically you could go ahead and have a conference call, have music playing in the background, and the person you're speaking to wouldn't actually hear it at all. For me, that's pretty cool. It also has User Sensing 2.0. There's a couple of things that some people might like. There's a technology on it. Of course, it'll sort of wake up when you're near it, but it also sort of dim the screen if you look away. That's a user configurable option. It might be annoying to some people, especially if you're at home. But again, this is something that's kind of useful as well. Otherwise, this is a device that folds all the way back. It's got a 180 degree hinge. A couple notes on the specs. 32 gigs of LPDDR5X memory. We don't know what speed, but again, a terabyte of SSD, Gen 4 SSD as well. You can see that we've got pretty standard ports configurations here. HDMI, which is 2.1. You've got USB-A and a couple of Thunderbolt 4 ports here. Again, we've got Thunderbolt 4 docks out there to be used to go ahead and use if need be for multiple displays. Let's take a look at what we have on the other side. And just a generic USB-A port plus, the headphone jack as well. That's useful. Looks like Kensington lock there as well. So these are, again, productivity laptops. You're not going to find any sort of creator class GPU in them. But again, Lunar Lake pretty decent pretty decent CPU by itself. So this officially is the Swift Edge 14. And I'm going to tell you that because of some uncertainties regarding what's going on with the administration and their tariffs, we don't actually have pricing on any of these. We don't actually have official availability as well. We've been told to sort of expect these 30 to 90 days from the launch of Computex. So again, there's some window there, but we should see these pretty soon. So let's talk a little bit about what's up next. This is the Swift X14. You've got a choice here. You can either go with Arrow Lake, not Lunar Lake, so the most recent most recent CPU from Intel, or you can go with the AMD Strix Point, the AI 300, the Ryzen AI 300. Now here, though, you do have the option for an RTX 5070. So you're getting into, this is more of a creator class notebook. You're going to find it sort of appealing to those who are into those side of things. Again, you know, a 5070 in here, but you know, look how thin it is. It's not bad at all. Again, a slightly higher resolution OLED. That's a 3K display, 100% DCI P3. That's again something that a creator would be looking for in terms of color accuracy. You're seeing some of the display HDR. You know, goes up to 500. So not over the top as far as HDR is concerned, but also common verified, and the iSafe certified 2.0 as well. One other feature too, again, as we notice down here, haptic touchpad. This is something that we've seen earlier before. I think Microsoft sort of pioneered it with the Surface Studio laptop. But the haptics basically extend the clickability of that touchpad and make it uniform across the entire touchscreen. 1080p webcam, I would hope for a little bit more, but that's certainly fine. If you like a little bit more, there are certainly standalone webcams that take that resolution up a little bit higher. And again, 32 gigs and up to 2 terabytes. You know, if you're talking about creator class hardware, you're also needing creator class storage, and that obviously delivers it right now. This would be a good machine for somebody who's, you know, again, in the creative industry at day and wants to play a little bit of gaming at night. There are a couple of additional notebooks to mention here, and those are the Aspires. The Aspire is mainly a pricing-driven notebook, and we don't have price here, so that kind of eliminates some of the things that we can talk about here. But I think one of the things that I wanted to point out with this particular machine is the fact that, you know, again, we have AI in the name. This is the Aspire 16, not just the Aspire 16, but the Aspire 16 AI. And you know, we've seen some of these purified voice and purified view technologies. This, I think, is worthwhile and just talking about only because it has what's called Acer Assist in it. And we've been told that Acer Assist is basically a local LLM. It's a local chatbot. So you can go ahead and interact with it if you want, but you can also go ahead and drop documents or into a folder and query those documents, sort of like, hey, what does my rental agreement actually mean in English? I have a bunch of homework assignments in this folder. You know, what should I have learned this semester? That type of thing. So, you know, again, when we're looking at AI technologies, this is one of the few that we're seeing that's what I would consider to be sort of a purpose-built LLM on this device. Otherwise, you know, we're seeing this is actually going to be available in a couple of different configurations. There's actually 3 platforms here, and the one that Acer is pushing the most is actually the Snapdragon X. That's the basic Qualcomm Snapdragon processor. But in fact, you can go ahead and buy this in both the Intel Core Ultra / Lunar Lake configuration or an AMD Strix Point, the Ryzen AI 300. You'll see this in both 14-inch, and this is the 16-inch monitor size, with display configurations getting up to 2K. Again, even though this is a value, sort of a offering, you're seeing memory configurations up to 32 gigabytes, SSD storage up to 1 terabyte for Gen 4. Don't read too much into the battery life. Obviously, that's going to change depending upon the processor technology. Qualcomm Snapdragon devices are typically the longest lasting. They can go, honestly, over 24 hours. Might be considered just sort of an average of all three platforms. I would say that as far as these devices are concerned, you're not going to see the haptics. This is, clickable here, but not up to all here. I mean, you get up to here, you have to really press on this touchpad to get it to work. You're going to see a few different changes in the specifications based upon the platform. The webcam, for example, here, it's going to be a full HD webcam. If you buy an Intel or an AMD platform, or if you buy this with an Intel or an AMD CPU inside. If you're buying the Qualcomm, you're going to get actually a QHD webcam, which is a little bit better. And also Intel and Qualcomm will offer Wi-Fi 7, and AMD will offer Wi-Fi 6, and the AMD platform will offer Wi-Fi 6E. That, I think, essentially sums up what Acer is going to be talking about here at Computex. Obviously, we'll have plenty of more videos based upon other vendors, other platforms, so make sure you stay tuned to PCWorld's YouTube channel throughout all of Computex.